Well, if it was 20 years ago, would Larry be a bass player?
Would Larry be a bass player?
Or would Mo and Curly?
You know, I really like Larry a lot, but his temperament is just, you know, the perfect straight man, perfect setup man of what a stereotype bass player maybe from 20 years ago would be.
Yeah, that's because, you know, me and Herb, we kind of choke up a lot of the space.
Right, I know. But isn't it weird how things have changed that way?
Yeah, that's because you got guys like Flea that are jamming it up and putting the bass at the forefront and making kids want to play bass instead of guitar. You know, like I said, when I was in high school, I wanted to be Van Halen.
Exactly.
Now everybody wants to be Flea.
So you need
the right. I want to be last. Come on.
Play, dude.
Hey, so they want to.
What about Pastorius?
No, but you need a good guitar player to be a good bass player. Is that what we're trying to say here? You need a good setup man, a good straight man.
Not necessarily.
Like Allen, George Burns, and Gracie Allen, or something.
You got to have the drummer, man. The drummer is the key, you know. To me, I mean, obviously the way Primus works, the guitar is more of a texture, you know. If me and Herb didn't lock up, you know, there wouldn't be shit going on, really.
All right. So bass is a little.
Be a foundation for Lur to build on.
Okay, so when some kid's watching MTV, watching you play, is he waiting for the solo, or is he trying to get into the groove?
Probably taking a big bong hit.
Well, and I just like to give in. I'd like to say that Mike is right. The bass is a piece of shit. Let's just get right down to it. And hey, Les, I invite you to join us in long distance group suicide.
All right.
No, what's the worst treason? The worst
I'm up
treason
for that.
is once you get your solo band, you start playing guitar because it's easier to sing. Is that the worst treason? I mean,
treason. Bass, you've turned against the Bass
treason?
Brotherhood, and for this you should lose your thumb.
No, man, just checking it out, man, because I know things are changing. Kids are clueless, and the only way they can find out about it is by doing it. Obviously, they ain't going to get the word from us. You know, if anything, they can think it's all right to talk about it, but they're not going to get the word from us. And it's cool if they talk about it. And I do believe the day is coming where they get the bass player first, and then they got to try to find some dude to play guitar.
I'll give kids the word. Children, kill your parents first.
All right. Les, you got a follow-up on that?
No, I'm going to just let that one sit right where it's
at. All right. If you had kids, would you have them play bass?
I'd have them play synth bass.
Oh.
I'd give them dance lessons.
No way. I'd have them play drums.
I'd have them get into a.
Yeah, I believe that. I think if you can play drums, you can play anything
injections.
Well. Hey, Les. What do you think of the stereotype of the bass player?
You know, I don't know if there is such a stereotype anymore. You know what I mean? I mean,
all right.
We're talking about when we were.
All right, that's a good thing.
I'm assuming we're all around the same age. You know, we're all around 30s.
Right.
We're all around 30.
17.
You know, and back when we were in high school, there seemed to be more of a stereotypical bass. But, you know, now bass is all over the place. And,
yeah, the bass stereotypes were shattered like way before, though.
Have you ever heard
right, Mingus, Dixon. Yeah. Hey, Les, you write the songs. Do you feel like Mingus?
The classical guys think that electric bass is a complete bastard.
It's a kazoo, right?
As well as the plectrum, which they're completely
and
against,
saxophone.
Saying that the guitar is essentially a percussive instrument, and electrifying it is, going against, tradition and all that. So aren't these ideas constantly being re-challenged and reconsidered? And doesn't
well, in a musical way,
can't you consider these same considerations what spawned the Second World War and the First, and goes all the way back into what spawned all the great religions as well? I think that it's all one big answer or one big question.
Okay. Well, then let's talk about the boss.
Let's
okay. Me and Cris were at the Flea show at the Palooza there, and Nikki Sixx came to your show there, and we were talking to him. But
the boss.
This is an interesting thing. This is an interesting thing because
was the crew there.
The crew was, in fact, the man who runs the crew, who is the bass player. And I asked him, Nikki Sixx, do you feel like Chuck Mingus because you write the songs? Now, Les, do you feel like Chuck Mingus?
No.
Nikki Sixx reminds me of Charlie Mingus.
He looks like.
Well, he didn't know who I was talking about, right?
I think Nikki.
When I asked him, did he know who
Mingus's, mom? Huh?
Did you ever read Mingus's book, Underneath the Underdog, Beneath the Underdog? Les?
No, I sure haven't.
Have you ever dressed like Underdog and done a little underdog dance around the streets?
I thought I was Underdog when I was a kid.
Yeah, well, the book's mainly about sex, but he was the man who wrote the song, who played like Willie Dixon, who ended up setting up Jimmy Page with a whole lot of love and wrote some excellent riffs. Joe Perry set up a lot of guitar players.
Les,
do you like Charlie Mingus?
I do like Charlie Mingus. I don't have a lot of Charlie Mingus.
Les, do you think
get some Charlie Mingus? You'll really like it a lot.
Do you think life is basically one man's boot at the throat of another's?
Get your wage and get a big wage.
Get the best I can.
The best wage you can.
Okay, but on the other hand, I'm not going to let that be my driving force.
No,
I just can't.
Yeah, no, it ain't. I don't think it is. That's what I'm saying. I think you're just the coolest.
I just try my hardest. I'm not the coolest. I gotta get. I gotta get my right hand together.
What's wrong with your right hand?
It's too much two-finger gallop.
I like the big old.
I want to get 3, so it's more da 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 da.
Yeah,
step da 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 the gallop.
Yeah, this one's the same size as this one. More.
Yeah. So but if you get all 3, it's ba-da-da, 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 and get out of the gallop.
Yeah. There's that little trip, that little film thing too. He's really great at that.
But you shouldn't worry so much about one like that. It's not left or right wing. There's front seat and back seat. I'm trying to put us in the front seat, let the kids look at us through the windshield. Left wing, right wing. That's old-fashioned stuff. You know, money's like air. If you're going to run a marathon, you're going to breathe hard. Okay? You're not going to run as fast. You don't need as much, but you know what I mean? Nobody should have to get cheated. But you guys told me Jocko chose that life. What did he deserve? Nobody deserved to be beaten to death, that's for sure.
He certainly didn't deserve to be beaten to death, but he was really fucked up. Bad way.
That's one end of democracy. The other end is 51 gets to lynch 49.
They win this little paper representative of food in this backwards little system that these poor little hairless apes with an over enlarged fucking thinking organ that initially was only supposed to propel them into fucking, furthering the fungus, and now
jack themselves off into a big.
Yeah, but if you're smart with hot air, with hot air, you put it in a balloon and float.
Yeah,
and then write sophisticated little banners,
with
the little poems.
The balloon, and you fall back to earth in a fucking.
You gotta come
in a pile of molten mud.
Get back to Pedro, recharge the batteries.
Back to Pedro.
Then Sally Forth. Remember Don Quixote? Sally Forth. What about Don Quixote? Do you think Don Quixote's him, Sally, and Forth was noble?
Sure, but I think that the whole notion there behind Don Quixote is that noble is a notion of humankind, right? That all we do is paint this color of noble on our little palette of being for the glimmering of a second on this little thing we call Earth.
Who played bass? Was it Pancho or was it
the
Don
fucking
Quixote?
Wonderland of blown away nothingness? Dust in the wind.
Who was playing bass? So was it Pancho?
Dust blows forward and the dust blows back.
The fucking the donkey. The donkey is the bass player.
Because
the donkey is the bass player. They'll repeat it over and over.
It's an intense thing because that is like saying life is futile and whatever, To dream the impossible. That whole trip. And it's what, 700-year-old story, 600-year-old story.
Sword fighting with,
windmills,
lancing with windmills, fighting with windmills. That are imaginary giants. The fucking wonderland of forever. Create a society. Oh, how mighty doth the towers stand, and those who inhabit them with their piles of the wondrous shekels and their ability to stomp mightily across the bloody remains of the vanquished heathens who deserved their pitiless wrath. Ugh. Good for them. But bug food.
But is the story worth reading?
Sure, if you want it to be. Sure. That's why we play music. That's why I play music, because I make up my own little story and I fucking wank it out on bass. Or drums if I get that little rat Derek out of the fucking way.
You're one of them switch hitters, ambidextrous.
Yeah, anything. And I like to fucking noodle on paper and whatnot and, to dally and slaughter. No, I think we're the sensitive little fucking pygmy elf trolls, giant orange frogs, and some kill, and we make noise.